Good people, sanibonani. Umakebalo. Now we are doing question 3 on that November paper 2019 paper 2. In a diagram below, having A as -2 maps to 2, B as -4 maps to -6, C as 4 maps to -2, and E as 6 maps to Y are the vertices of the quadrilateral having AE. So AE is parallel to BC. That is very important information based on the gradient. If the lines are parallel, the gradient of AE is going to be equal to gradient of BC. This is very, very important information. And lies on BC such as that AD is perpendicular to BC. Again, very, very important information. The gradient of AD times the gradient of BC is going to be equal to -1 based on this information that they gave us there. Very, very important. Yeah. Then UM is UX maps to 2 on point of UEC. Okay. Let's get into the questions now. 3.1, they're saying let's calculate the gradient of BC. So the gradient of BC. So where's my B? BC. So if I can say this is x1, y1, and then this is my x2, y2. So 3.1, the gradient of BC, it's y2 minus y1 into x2 minus x1. So y2 in this case is -2 minus y1, which is -6, all over x2 is 4 minus x1, which is -4. So punching my calculator there is going to be -2 minus into -6, and then 4 minus into -4, which is giving me 1 over 2. The gradient of BC, it's 1 over 2. Now we know that if the gradient of BC is 1 over 2, what is the gradient of AE? Just say it. Because of this, it's 1 over 2. So 3.2. If M is a midpoint, so M is a midpoint of EC. So M is a midpoint of EC. Determine the X value and the Y value. So this is the midpoint. So I know that the X, since the X of a midpoint of M is equals to the X of E plus X of C, and then all over 2. So what is the X of E? X of E in this, so X of M, sorry, is going to be X as they're reaching it there in M on M. So it's just X is equals to X of E is 6 plus X of C it's 4, and then we divide it by 2, and then this is equals to 6 plus 4 divided by 2, which is going to give me 5. So this is 5 there, 5 maps 2. That is my M. Now looking for Y now, same thing in terms of the midpoint here. I'm going to say Y of M is going to be equals to the Y of E plus C, and then all over 2. So the Y of M is just Y is equals to the Y of um Y of, sorry, it's 2. So Y of M is 2, and then Y of E is just Y plus Y of C it -2, and then all over 2. Cross multiply here, it's gonna give me 4 is equals to y minus 2, and then y goes to the other side, so y is going to be equals to 6. So my y here is 6, so it's 6 maps 6 as a point E. So my x here is 5 and my y 6. Determine the length of BC. So finding the length of BC, okay. So this is going to be my 3.8 3. So BC is going to be equals to x2 minus x1 squared plus y2 minus y1 squared, and then square root of x2 in this case is going to be minus 2, and then minus x1, which is negative 4, then squared plus y2, which is negative 2. I made a mistake in terms of my substitution here. Let's go back. Now. My x2, let's start afresh. My x2 in this case is 4. So it's 4 minus my x1 is also what? Negative 4. Then squared. Oh, let me write the bracket. Another bracket here and then squared and then plus my y2 is negative 2 minus my minus y1, so it's now minus 6 and then squared. Then my BC now, it's going to be, punch in your calculator also, 4 minus into negative 4, then bracket squared plus into negative 2, and then minus into negative 6, and then my BC is 4 into square root of 5. So it's 4 into the square root of 5. That's my BC here. So BC is 4 into the square root of 5. And then 3.4, if it is further given that AE, where is AE, is square root of 80. Square root of 80. So square root of 80 is the same as 4 square root of 5. That is very, very important. To which group of the special quadrilateral does this belong? What does this quadrilateral belong? Belong in the parallelogram. So this is parallelogram. Two opposite side are equal. So determine the equation of AD. Where is AD? AD. Again, very, very important information based on what is happening here. Determine the equation of AD in a form of this. Now, let's get a space. We know my gradient of BC here. The gradient here was 1 over 2. So the gradient of OBC is 1 over 2. Again, I told you that the gradient of AD times the gradient of OBC is going to give us a negative 1 because of this thing here, that OAD, it's perpendicular to OBC. This is very important that you write this reason after writing this statement. So what is the gradient here? I'm looking for that gradient of AD. This one is times 1 over 2, then is equals to negative 1. So the gradient of AD is going to be negative 2. So after having the gradient, y is equals to mx plus c, using the point of A, so it's going to be 2 is equals to negative 2, and then into x as negative 2, and then plus c, and then 2 into this is positive 4 plus c, and then my c is going to be negative 2. So the whole equation is going to be y is equals to negative 2x minus 2. So that's the equation of AD. So y is equals to negative 2x minus 2. Calculating the coordinate of D, this coordinate of D. I hope you can see now this coordinate of D here is a point of intersection between UAD or UBC and UAD. Yes, point of intersection between those two lines. So it's very, very important again, if we can find the equation of UBC, After finding the equation of BC, then we can equate both of these equations to find a point of D. So let's do that. We do have the gradient, so if we have a gradient, we can find the equation of BC. So this is BC, y is equals to mx plus c. The gradient, we know it's 1 over 2. So if we can use the point between the two, I can use this one of b as negative 6 here, is equals to m as 1 over 2, and this is negative 4, and then plus c. So this is going to give me negative 2, and then take that negative 2 to the other side. So it's going to be negative 6 plus 2, which gives me negative 4 is equals to c. So the equation there is going to be y is equals to 1 over 2x minus 4. So finding now the equation, now we equate both of two equations. So y is going to be equals to another y of bc and y of a d in terms of the equations. So the y of bc is 1 over 2x minus 4 is equals to this one here is negative 2x minus 2. Solving for x, take this x, take the other x to the other side. So it's 1 over 2x plus 2x is equals to negative 2 plus 4, so which is going to give us 1 over 2 plus 2, it's giving me 5 over 2x, and then negative 2 plus 4, it's giving me 2. So 2 divided by 5 over 2, it's giving me 4 over 5. So if this x of d is 4 over 5. Now let's get y. Y, just get y by substituting its other in either one of the equation. It's up to you which one you can substitute on. So negative 2 into, I choose this one. So it's 4 over 5 into minus 2. So is equals to negative 2 into 4 over 5, and then minus 2. Now the answer here is going to be negative 18 comma over 5. So the y coordinate here, it's going to be negative 18 all over 5. This is the whole point, or the whole coordinate of D. Now, going to 7 point or 3.7, it's saying determine the area of AEC. So what is the area that they are looking for? The area of AEC. That's the triangle that they are looking for. Hopefully you can see now that this triangle is similar or the same as this triangle here. So whatever area of this triangle is going to be the same area of this triangle. Since in this triangle now, which is this triangle that I'm going to highlight now, we have most of the information in terms of the area of a base and the area of a height, or not the area, the base and the height, meaning our base here it's bs and our height is going to be OAD. But we know the base, which is the length of a bs, which is 4 into 4 square root 5. What we don't know for now is OAD, because now we just found AD as 4 over 5 as a coordinate, and then negative 18 over 5. So this is the coordinate of D. So this can be my x1, y1, and then x2, y2. So we can find the length of AD. Okay, let's go and find the length of OAD. So OAD is going to be equals to the square root of x2, which is 4 over 5, minus minus 2 all squared, plus y2, which is negative 18 over 5, minus 2 all squared. And then if I can punch my calculator here, I'm going to have 4 into 5 minus into minus 2 all squared, and then plus into negative 18 all over 5 and minus 2 all squared, which is giving me, so the answer here is going to be 14 square root of 5 all over of 5, which is approximately 6,26. Now calculating an area now, we said an area of the triangle AEC is exactly the same area of the triangle ABC. So what is the area of triangle ABC? It's half BC times AD is our height. AD now equals to half my BC. I know that it's 4 square root of 5, and AD is that 14 square root of 5 all over 5, which is the answer that is going to get there is 1 over 2 into 5 square root of 5 times 14 square root of 5 all over 5, which is giving us 28 units squared, because we're calculating an area. Unit squared. It's very, very important to write this unit squared. Thank you so much, guys. Makebalo.